If you want to be financially independent and retire early, there are 3 very important numbers that you must be aware of. But not only be aware of them, but you must be able to control them. Because by controlling these 3 numbers, you will take your first steps towards financial freedom and retiring early. Of the 3 numbers, the third number is the most important. But in order to achieve the third number, the first 2 numbers have to be controlled, because they are the building blocks to get your third number. By controlling your third number, then you will be able to retire early and achieve financial freedom. Hi, my name is Calvin and welcome to my channel. Let's talk about that 3 important numbers. So the first important number is your income number. You must be able to control your income. But then you say, hey, Calvin, not possible. You know, I work a 9-to-5 job. How can I control my income? Well, don't let that be an excuse to you. There are a lot of ways to control your income. In fact, to be more specific, you must be able to increase your income. Nowadays, there are a lot of opportunities for freelancing work or even be involved in the gig economy, right? Being a Grab driver or even a Uber driver. You can do that on your way home or even over weekends, and that's how you can increase your income. Apart from that, you can also increase your income through internet marketing. Of course, under the internet marketing umbrella, there are many little categories as well. So I'm just going to highlight one so that you know what I mean. The one that I want to highlight is called affiliate marketing. So what is affiliate marketing? Well, let me give you an example. Let's say you go to a restaurant and you find that the restaurant has good service, the food is good, and what do? The next day you go to your place of work, you tell your friends, hey, that restaurant is very good, good ribs, good chicken, service is good, and that's what you do, right? So affiliate marketing is similar to that, in that you recommend certain products to your friends or even potentially strangers too. You recommend to them, and whereas in the real world, you don't get a single cent. You just telling your friends only. Whereas in affiliate marketing, the seller, the person who sells the services, will actually give you a commission. And if you may think that that commission is just very, very small, no, it's not. Certain products, so that the commission can go as high as 60%, 70%, especially when we're talking about information products. So these are the things that you can do to increase your income. If you have specific skill set, then you can create online courses. And your online course can be listed in websites such as Udemy or Skillshare, or maybe even your own website. Now, what's so good about online courses? Well, the thing that I always like to do is to create passive income, because by doing this online course, you only need to create it one time, and then every time it's sold, you get money without you doing the work anymore. So how do you go about creating this online course? Well, just using very basic equipment like what I'm doing now. Right? This video is recorded using my handphone. That's it. That's all I have. Yeah. So you don't need to invest in a lot of fancy equipment to get this done. The next passive income idea that you can do is actually to write a book. But you say, hey, books are no longer popular. Nobody is reading books anymore. Well, yes and no. Well, you can have a physical book to be sold on Amazon and places like that. And of course, on Amazon, you can also be selling electronic books. Very simple thing. Just convert your physical book to be an electronic book. Just a few clicks of a button, and you can have two formats: physical book and also an electronic book. You can do this by selling them to increase your income. The other thing that you can do is to be a YouTuber and create videos for YouTube, just like what I'm doing now. When you hit a certain threshold, then YouTube will invite you to join their monetizing program. And then onwards, what they do is they will also pay you a little commission from all the advertising that will appear on the video itself. Since you're talking about YouTube, if you like topics like this and you want to learn how to be financially free and retire early, start right now by clicking on the subscribe button here and click on the bell so that whenever I come up with a new video, you'll be notified. The second number that you need to control in order to achieve financial independence and retiring early is your expense number. While the income number that we talked about just now probably has 1 or 2 or even 3 entries, but in the expense column there are many entries. So I will just highlight a few so that you know what I mean. I will talk about those that are quite big, and some of them you can control. The first item that I want to talk about from your expense column is the house, the place where you stay. But if you are already owning the house or you are renting it, then maybe this may not apply to you. But if you're looking for a house to buy, then this will definitely apply to you, because now you can control, you can decide what kind of house you want to buy. Do note that the bigger the house, the bigger the expenses are. Why? Because most likely a big house would cost a lot more, and therefore you will probably be taking a bank loan for it, a housing loan for it. Therefore, every month you'll be paying a lot more in terms of housing loan. So a big chunk from your income will be used to pay off this housing loan. Then the second thing is that the bigger the house is because you will need more lighting, you will need more heating. If you're living in a hot place, then you need more air condition. So therefore, the electricity bills, the utility bills will all go up. So the bigger the house, the bigger the expense. I have another video that's created for this, and it is up there. The second item that I want to highlight in the expense column is the car. For me, the car, the basic function of a car is actually to get you from point A to point B. And whether is it an inexpensive car to a luxury car, it serves the same function. As for me, in order to achieve financial independence and retiring early, I have opted to buy an economical car, not so expensive car. Why? Because the car is the one that has the huge depreciation, meaning the time you buy it to the time you sell it, the amount of money you lose is a lot. I think you know, the moment you drive a new car out of the car dealership, the value of the car drops by 10% at least. So that's why this is something that you need to watch out for. I had also created another video on owning a car, kind of things that you need to do to control this expense, and it is up there. The next item on the expense column that you can control is cigarettes. That is if you smoke, of course. So if you are staying in the US and you smoke, a pack of cigarettes in the US is between $6 to $12 depending on which state you're from. So generally speaking, from my experience with people who smoke, is that they will smoke at least 1 pack a day. So if you smoke a pack a day, that means that you are spending at least $6 a day just on cigarettes alone. And in a month, you're spending $180, and that's a lot of money. And if you're from the UK, then a pack of cigarettes is at least 10 quid. Using the analogy of having 1 pack a day, you are actually spending 10 British pounds a day. And if you can calculate over a month, we're looking at 300 pounds. And that's a lot of money. I'm not saying that you completely cut off this smoking habit that you have. But what I'm saying is that if you can gradually control it to such an extent, to let's say half a pack now, maybe gradually get it less and less every month, then potentially you can keep a lot of money, that money that you are smoking away. Keep this money to put into the next number that I'm talking about. Now let's come to the final number that you can control so that you can achieve financial freedom and retiring early. And what is that number? That number is your investment number. So how do you get this investment number? Well, I have told you earlier in this video is that it is really much dependent on your income and your expense. Meaning, the higher your income, if you can generate a lot of income, and then you have a low expense, so the difference that you have, that's the money you can put aside for investment purposes. So if you have a lot more money in investment, that means you are able to shorten the time of working so that you can retire early. So what do I mean when I say you must control this investment number? The money that you have just now, what you can control is where this money is going to, which investment vehicle that this money is going through. In fact, more importantly is you've got to choose the investment vehicle that gives you the highest return. Of course, different investment vehicle will require different kind amount of work from you. Some a lot, some little. Yeah. The first investment vehicle that most people will put money into is mutual funds, and more specifically index funds, because it is shown that index funds have traditionally perform better than other category of funds. And if you are putting money into mutual funds, then actually there's practically no work at all. If you don't want to put money into mutual funds, then you can also put into individual stocks, right? But this one requires a lot of work, yeah? It's because you need to research which company and which company gives you a return, whether you talk about dividend or capital gains and things like that. So this one requires a lot of work, yeah? Because it depends on your what you want. The next category of investment that people put money into is property, whether you want to buy it for capital gains or rental income. Yeah, again, I have a video on this and it is up there. The next investment vehicle that you can put my money into is precious metal, like gold, silver, things like that. Yeah, and of course the other category, which is maybe cryptocurrency. That is if you're comfortable with it. Things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, things like that. Let's talk about the investment number that we're talking about. The ideal, for me anyway, is that you should have 6% return from all the money that you put into these different investment vehicles. Well, of course, if you are in the FIRE movement, FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early, the kind of movement, they have a magic number too, and their magic number is 4%, 4% return. So invest in all these vehicles that gives you whatever return that we are talking about. And now for one bonus tip. How do you determine when you can retire? How do you determine when you have already achieved financial freedom? Well, you know, just now we talked about the investment return. Well, that money that you get from your investment, that return that you get back, is when it's more than your monthly expenses. That's when you can retire. So what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, your monthly expense is $5,000. Meaning, if your return from this investment is more than $5,000 a month, then you can retire already. I had also created another video on why you should be financially free, and that video is up there. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that whenever I come up with a new video, you'll be notified.